Welcome to the 3-lesson demo unit on the theme Human Ingenuity, and the topic is Innovation in Technology. As you can see here, this is the main page, and when you click on the Access button, you can get your account. I already have an account. Actually, I want to cancel it right now so that I can sign up for it and get a new menu, as you can see right here. Okay, so at the moment there are 3 pages that you can see. There's a home page for Unit 1, the full unit, and a home page, the full unit, Unit 2, but we are going to go to the home unit demo so that you can see what the unit looks like. So this is the front page. So the unit incorporates both productive and receptive skills while the students practice speaking and writing one of the required text types. At the end, there is an extension activity for that. And the question is, how can you use the unit in your own classroom, and how does the asynchronous collaboration work? So let me try to show that, and let's work it out together. So here you can see that you have the home page, and it shows you the outline of what is going to be happening while you are going to be working. Here you have only 3 sessions. The regular unit has 6 sessions. I calculated the time more or less based on how fast my students were working when I was developing this. We have classes between 75 minutes and 90 minutes long, so that's what one session is all about. So if you have classes 45 minutes, then this would actually mean 6 classes. But there is no stopping you. You can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want, and of course it's adaptable to every student. They can keep going as fast as they want to. So usually session 1 starts with an introductory video. I suggest that you try to download Flipgrid onto your phone and ask the students to do the same. This is the quickest way for them to access the app when they need it. And the students are divided into groups. Usually when there are 3 or 4 schools working together, I try to mix up the students so that they can collaborate with people from other schools. So this is why it's important for me to know the first names of the students and their gender, so that the groups are mixed up by gender as well. So this introductory video.
Hey guys, my name is Andra. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia, but I currently study here in Bogor. And my favorite tech gadget are these earphones. Nice to meet you all.
Hi Andra, I'm Yusei. I also like to listen to music, so my favorite tech gadget is something that is related to listening to music, which is my AirPods.
It's basically a 30-second video. You want the students to just introduce themselves. There's an open-ended question here. For example, you have where you currently live and study, and what is your favorite tech gadget. So we use the app on the phone. Especially, it's very handy on the phone because the whole point is, of course, to make the interaction going. So you want to have the students post a 10-15 second response saying nice to meet you, or commenting on their gadget, and just making that connection. So the videos allow the students to meet their collaborative peers, so to speak, and catch a glimpse of their cultural setting as well, because a lot of the times the students use either the classroom, or they go outside the classroom, or in the hallway, or sometimes they do it in their They record it in their rooms at home, and that allows the other students to just catch a glimpse of what their surroundings are, which can be culturally very different. And the replies to the videos help set up the rapport. And of course, the more smiles we see, the friendlier the collaboration would be. So the first task is usually a reading assignment or another knowledge gathering task. And here we have 6 linked articles, and these are meant to be read. Now you can set up your class whichever way you want. If you have 6 students, you can ask them to read 1 article each. If you have 12 students, you can pair them up. If you have 24 students, you can put them into groups, and they would be reading the article, pondering the questions that are suggested over here. And I think the most important thing is to also teach the soft skill of critical thinking, how the articles are structured, who has written them, what is the possible bias, what is the purpose. So all of the things that we would want the students to practice, no matter what type of article and what they are reading, especially online. So once they gather this information and have some knowledge of what is happening in the article, again, depending on your time frame, you may decide to mix them up and have them present to each other. But the whole point is to be able to present to a forum and post their opinion online. Before they do that, as you can see, there's a fit education break, and it's just a little bit of fun to get the kids jumping or just moving around in between the work that they are doing, so that they're not just sitting in one position all the time. So when they click on the forum, they will be able to post their opinion, and once they click through this, they will be able to see 3 different groups. Those groups are supposed to be the same as the forum group that is connected over here. So at the bottom of the page, you have some extension activities. You may decide to work a little bit more on the reading of the text types and trying to identify the particular features. There may be other things that you want to do. You may want to examine the language that is used, the tone of the register. You may decide to look at the audience, or do some creative thinking about how an adaptation of an article could be created if the audience were younger. So in the next session, there's some listening comprehension, viewing, and reading comprehension as well. So this part is based on literature, Ray Bradbury's short story. There's an ebook copy over here, which looks like this. The story is a science fiction story. There is also an audiobook that's embedded over here. You can see it on YouTube using this link. The reason that this has been embedded into Wistia page is because in some countries and around the world, YouTube is blocked. So Wistia at the moment allows everyone to view the videos. So here is one story. It takes about 15 minutes to listen to this audiobook. Probably reading will be much shorter, but it is a rather rich story. So you may want to, again, work through vocabulary, perhaps put the students into groups, and try to work out what are the features of this short story. Another short story, which is a modern one, is written by Terry Bisson. And again, you have a YouTube link to the video and the film over here. This is produced by the New York Film Academy. It's a student-produced film. And it's obviously an adaptation of the story. You have an ebook copy over here, and it looks like this. It is entirely dialogue. It's a very interesting story with no setting and no characterization provided. So after the students watch the videos and read the stories, again, up to you. You can divide the class into two groups, have one group watch one of the stories or read one of the stories and the other story, and exchange information as well if you wanted to. There's again a fit education break, just for a moment, and the collaboration. And the collaboration is asynchronous, although there is a live chat room embedded over here. Of course, the students are very savvy in a lot of ways, and they find other ways of getting into the collaboration themselves. Within their forum group, they would be setting up smaller groups of 3 or 4 and making sure that in that small group the members originate from various schools. And here they have two choices. They can have a nonfiction infographic choice or a fiction creative piece. Okay, so as a group, they could collaborate in order to create an infographic. They could, again, have some sub choices over here and negotiate which of the fields they would want to focus on. So if there are 4 students in the group from 4 different countries or 4 different schools, it would take a little bit of negotiation. How would they want to proceed? What kind of information should be in the infographic? What fonts to use, what templates to use, which website to use. Perhaps somebody is already a little bit more tech savvy, or they have already created an infographic, they know a little bit more, and they can lead the others. It's important that all of the students contribute and collaborate, and so the teacher's role in this part of the class is to monitor this collaboration and ensure that every child is included and connect with the other teachers, so that if there is a situation in which a student is excluded or doesn't really know how to approach this collaboration, that they can actually help them a little bit and make that connection. The extension activities are showing some more possibilities of film trailers. This could be set as a homework activity if they want to. It's actually quite fun. My classes have always enjoyed this prediction, what the various films can predict as far as what's going to be happening in the future. Now for session 3, there are just 2 tasks, and that is a discussion. So again, we get back to the Flipgrid. What have we learned? And what do we know about the outcome? When we begin the collaboration, it's usually on a Monday, and by Friday, students should have at least created the introductory videos and received some feedback, and also written something on the forum. The forum opinions don't have to be long, just a little bit of practice. I would say probably 150, 200 words would be an optimum amount to say something about one of the articles that they have read, and of course replying to a few. So by the time they get to session 3, they will have read a few articles, or at least one. They will have read about those articles a few more. They will have read at least one, if not both, of the stories. And so their breadth of knowledge may have expanded in order to be able to answer one or all of these suggested questions for discussion. So the recording on Flipgrid will also be replied to. Hopefully, students would reply agree or disagree with their opinions. And then it's time to share the work. One of the things we absolutely have to remember is that this is a collaboration that may be crossing countries and time zones. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The point is, what have we learned from it? What can we figure out? Were we able to negotiate well? Were we able to connect? Were we able to get something done? And so this Padlet gallery may display partial work that isn't finished by the time that the collaboration finishes, or in some cases, students have posted their partial work, but then very determined to finish, even when the collaboration was officially over. They still kept working, trying to complete the assignment and then posted it later on. So it was a really very pleasing effect. Another fit education break just before they reflect and try to evaluate what went well, which activity was most beneficial, why, and what benefits they can see, and what difficulties did they encounter. So that allows them to reflect on their own learning and on their own engagement in the lessons as well and in the collaboration. And it also allows the developers of the unit to make improvements. At the end, we have extension activities, the writing of the text types. In the regular unit, the writing of the text type is actually incorporated within the unit, but with just 3 lessons, it has been moved to the end as an extension activity. Of course, here you have a few choices that you can assign to the students. First, as a formative, as a practice piece, and then after some peer feedback, self-evaluation, perhaps some teacher feedback as well, write another one that would be more in line with what the exam is going to look like, with about 600 words.